أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس صدق الله العظيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي آمين يا رب العالمين. Respected brothers, elders, youngsters, sisters and mothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome again to our Friday night Tafsir. Alhamdulillah, we've been having this for quite some Fridays. We started off with Surah Al-Fatiha, then we went to Surah Al-Fil, and all the way today we'll complete Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Naas, which will end this series of the last few surahs, Get to Know Your Salat series, inshallah. Which subject, what topic, or what book will we go over next? Inshallah, we'll let you know through flyers and through announcements in the coming days, inshallah. Surah Al-Falaq, Surah An-Naas. Both are Makki surahs. And by now, you know what Makki means. Makkiyatun. Yani it was revealed before the Prophet migrated to Medina Munawwara. So it was revealed that time. When the Prophet was before migration, the surah was revealed, both of them. Both of these surahs were revealed together. Both of these surahs, Surah Falaq, Surah An-Nas, they were revealed together. Surah Falaq is called Surah Falaq because of the word Falaq in the first ayat. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. That's why it's called Surah Falaq. Surah An-Nas is called Surah An-Nas because قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ Nas, the word Nas is used there almost 5 times. Another name of these two surahs together, it's called Al-Mu'awwidhatayn. What's another name? Al-Mu'awwidhatayn. The two surahs that you can use for protection. The surahs don't protect you, Allah protects you. But this is the medicine that you can take. Just like how when you're sick, you take Tylenol or you take all the other medication. They don't cure you. Who cures you? Allah is Shafi. But those are means. So these two surahs, they cure us, they protect us. That's why it's called Al-Mu'awwidhatayn. Al-Mu'awwidhatayn. And the Prophet called it Al-Mu'awwidhatan, Al-Mu'awwidhatayn. Why is it called Al-Mu'awwidhatayn? We talked about it a little bit last week. Because the Prophet ﷺ, because of the meaning of the surah, because of the context of the surah, which we'll discuss shortly, the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever recites Surah Al-Ikhlas 3 times, and then as well as Surah An-Nas and Surah Falaq, in the morning and in the evening, Allah Azza wa Jalla will protect him from all types of difficulties. All types of difficulties, whether it's body, whether it's illness, whether it's physical, spiritual, whether it is metaphysical type of difficulty like sihr, like ayn. Sihr means black magic, like evil eye. So when you recite Surah Falaq and Surah An-Nas, through this surah, Allah Azza wa Jalla will protect you, like how He protected Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And we'll talk about it. Al-aynu haqqun. The Prophet said, Al-aynu haqqun. Evil eye is true. Evil eye is true. Sometimes some person, this can be because of no jealousy, or it can be because of jealousy. Hasad, kina, bughz, ghazab in his heart. Hiqd, hasad, because of jealousy. He can give an evil eye to a certain person or a thing. which can cause negative physical effects, or it can cause spiritual effects to a person. And he can become sick, he can become whatever the case may be with him. There's also sihr. Sihr refers to black magic. This happens through jinnat. The details of it we'll not discuss. This happens through jinnat. The reality of sihr is it's a physical type of harm that gets on an individual. It's a physical harm. Whether it has to do with his mental health, whether it's his physical health, whether it's his heart, whether it's his thinking, whether it's his consciousness. It has to deal with this. And this is true also. The surah was revealed. There's a reason why the surah was revealed. Nabi Kareem sallallahu alayhi wasallam became ill. All of a sudden, one day the Prophet becomes sick. And he's sick very bad. Some narration has it he was sick for months. And he kept on getting worse. There was no, he probably did all the shifa, all the medicines and the stuff possible. He went through it. But then this is a different type of sickness that he went through. Sometimes it happens. Right? Modern science will not accept this sickness. Because modern science or modern doctors that study, they only look at what can be tested to the microscope, or you can do hypothesis and then you can test it. It has to be something physical. Right? Modern science will not accept this because they don't deal with the metaphysical. They only deal with the physical. But this is a different type of illness. So the Prophet was sick. Bibi Aisha says that the Prophet was such, for these couple of days that he was sick, sometimes he's losing consciousness, he's fainting. Sometimes he's not able to speak proper because of the effect of this. That's how dangerous it was. Until Bibi Aisha says, one day the Prophet ﷺ, he went to sleep. In the sleep, he had two angels. One was on top of his head, standing, and the Prophet is lying down, of course. And this is he's dreaming. And one angel was by the feet of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. They both had a conversation. The first angel asked and said, "What is wrong with this man?" referring to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the other one responded, "He is mashhur." Mashhur means he's bewitched. Sihr is done on him. There's not no physical illness that you catch coronavirus, or you get this virus, you get this type of sickness, or this is this. There's a different type of sickness that he has. He's mashhur, bewitched. Sihr is done on him. Then the angel asks a second question. The Prophet is dreaming this, but it's a revelation from Allah. It's a revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second question is, who did this? And then the response of the other angel came, Labid bin Asim. Labid ibn Asim. He was a hypocrite. He was actually a Jew, but he acted like he was a Muslim. He was a hypocrite, munafiq. He's the one who caused this. He used to come to the company of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, sit like this in the masjid. And the Prophet knew he was a munafiq, but the Prophet didn't expose him because he's rahmatul lil alameen. Prophet is rahmatul lil. If there's any personal attack against the Prophet will never take revenge and expose him. Never. This was a personal attack. If it was a communal attack against the Muslims, then the Prophet would take action, because then now the haqq of other Muslims is involved. But if it's a personal attack against the Prophet even forgave these kuffar or munafiqeen and the others. So the Prophet forgave Labid bin Asim did it. Then the angel says in the dream, how did he do this? This is how sihr is done. How did he do this? The other angel responded that through a comb, kangi, you call it kangi, in Urdu I guess, kangi, that you comb your hair with, and pieces of hair of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Yani they took the comb of the Prophet, and they took some of the comb, meaning some of the parts, or you can say the mouth of the comb, and they took some pieces of hair of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and they did sihr on it. And then the angel asked the fourth question, where is it? Because the most effective way to break it is you find it and you recite Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq, and you recite the kursi, you blow on it, it will break automatically. So you have to find it. Where is it? Where is it buried? Is it in the house? Is it in the car? Is it in the kitchen? Is it in the backyard? Is it in the well inside the house? Where on earth is it? The other angel responded, it's in such and such well under a rock inside certain type of bag, or you can say some certain type of pouch. It is put inside a pouch that has been tied up, taken inside a well somewhere, and in the well is put under a rock. That's how hidden it is. When the Prophet ﷺ wakes up, he calls the Sahaba, go to such and such well, check under a rock, you will find something and bring me that. So the Sahaba, they go, they don't know why the Prophet said this. And subhanAllah, they find exactly what the Prophet told them they will find. They bring this to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The Prophet opens it up. It is the comb, pieces of comb, and the hair of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. There were roughly around 11 knots. There were 11 knots tied on it. 1, 2, 3, and each knot had a needle on it. Each knot had a needle piercing through it. So there were 11 knots tied, and every knot had a needle piercing through it. The Prophet ﷺ opened one up, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. How many knots are there? 11. How many ayats in the surah? 11. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ. One knot will open, and the Prophet will feel as if heavy load is off his shoulders. Then he will read the next ayat, مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ. Another knot will open. Third, وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ, all the way to مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ, until the Prophet felt relieved of this type of burden that was on his shoulders, which was bothering him and it was harming him. Now this is the background of Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Naas. Allah Azza wa Jal revealed it for the Prophet and for the Ummah as a protection from these type of evil acts. When we have physical illness, we go to medicine and whatnot, we do the spiritual du'as and whatnot, but this type of sickness does not have any type of, something you can drink, or drink Tylenol, you'll get cured. It doesn't help. You have to read your du'as. You have to read these surahs. Blow it on your hand. You have to do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then inshallah it will break and you'll recover from this. Now let's go to the surah and we'll end off soon. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah teaches the Prophet ﷺ and us to read this. Qul, say, O Muhammad, and by extension, all of us fall under this command. We should also read this. That's why the ulama have written, our mashayikh say, this is from the hadith, every morning 3 times. The last 3 qul, 3 times. If you can add Surah Kafirun, add it also, but especially the last 3 quls. Surah Ikhlas, Falaq, An-Naas. In the evening, 3 times. Yani after Salatul Maghrib, 3 times each surah. After Salatul Fajr morning, 3 times each surah. Before sleeping, you recite this surah. And after the other salats, Dhuhr, Asr, and Isha, you recite it 1 time. You blow it on your hands after you read it. This is from the hadith. وَأَن تَمْسَحَ, then you wipe it over your head, your shoulders, your bodies, all the way to the end of your feet. So this is the amal that we should do, inshallah. Because of this, we'll be protected. If we have enemies, we have people that don't like us, and this happens a lot nowadays. As a imam, people I get messages from people asking that there's something wrong with their kid, or something wrong with him, or something wrong with his business. Whatever the case is, this happens and it's true, and it's happening a lot, especially here. And back home, forget about it. It happens like it's nothing. And if over here now, because the people that do these type of things are increasing, so it happens even more often now. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, I seek Allah's protection. I seek protection بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ, the Lord of the daybreak. Daybreak refers to night leaving, morning time coming. Why did Allah mention this quality? Because this will show us that inshallah when we seek Allah's protection, Allah will help us inshallah. You seek Allah's protection, Allah will help us. Just like how the darkness leaves, but when daybreak happens, darkness leaves and light comes. And everyone gets happy. Darkness of night is when the sihr takes full effect. Nighttime. The insects come out. The beasts come out. The shayateen are out. The jinnat are out. That's why the Prophet ﷺ said after Salatul Maghrib when the sun sets, bring your kids back inside your house. Don't let them roam around in the streets when it's dark like this. So Allah used the word Rabbil Falaq, the Lord of the daybreak, to give us this idea. Just like how when daybreak happens, light comes, darkness leaves. Just like that, when you seek Allah's protection, Allah Azza wa Jal will help you, inshallah. So what does Rabbil Falaq mean? The Lord of Falaq. Falaq means daybreak, Fajr time. When Fajr, after Fajr comes, light comes, and the nighttime he leaves. Min sharri ma khalaq. What protection are we seeking from? Protection from what? From shar. Min means from, shar means evil of whatever Allah has created. All of the makhluk of Allah, you're seeking Allah's protection from all of those evil. All those evil. وَمِن شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. What's غاسق? غاسق, Allah mentioned شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ, general evil. Now Allah is going to talk about 3 types of evil. The surah is teaching us to seek protection from. What are these? Number 1, dark night, like right now. Dark night, when it spreads. Yani, when it becomes dark like it is right now. Why seek protection from this? Because this is when the shayateen, this is when jinnat, this is when insects and harmful objects, this is when thieves come out, robbers come out, robbery happens, crime happens. So Allah is teaching us to seek protection from the dark night when it spreads. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. And I seek protection from the shar. Shar means evil. Khair is good, shar is evil. And naffathat. Naffathat refers to those women who blow on uqad. Uqad means knots. They make knots and they blow on them, they tie them down, they do magic, they do sihr. Why did Allah mention women specifically over here? Because even men do it. Because usually majority of the sihr, majority of the black magic comes from women. Majority of it. Because jealousy amongst women is stronger. Jealousy, hatred amongst women is stronger. And it's usually they are the ones who will go and have sihr done. So, and a second reason Mufassirun mentioned why Allah mentioned women who blow on knots is because Labid bin Asim, this hypocrite, who was a Jew, Yahud, he was a hypocrite. He used his daughters to do it. So it's referring to them. Again, as the women were involved. He used his daughters to do this act. You might be thinking, how did he get hold of Rasulullah's comb and Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam's hair? There used to be a khadim of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was a young Jewish boy. He used to do the khidmat of Rasulullah. The Prophet, the Muslims and the Jews at that time, they lived peacefully. But of course, you also had the fitna amongst them. But they lived peacefully. The Prophet was so peaceful that even the Yahud, his kid, they were comfortable sending their kids around the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's just a side point. So he had a khadim. He was a Yahud young boy. So this Yahud young boy, Labid went to him, and Labid instigated and told him, probably bribed him, whatnot, to get some hair of Rasulullah, just get some hair, and from the comb of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and give it to me. This is how he got hold of the Prophet's hair and some pieces of the comb, the mouth of the comb. Then the final ayat is وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدَ. The third evil, from the evil of the jealous person. Jealousy is the first sin that ever happened in the heavens. Jealousy is the first sin that ever happened in this earth. Who was the first person to ever be jealous? Iblis. Of who? Of Adam. Because of jealousy came pride. Because of jealousy came evil. Because of jealousy came talking back to Allah, rejecting the hukum of Allah. Disobedience came jealousy. That's how strong jealousy is. It's the root of majority of these evils that we see out here. Jealousy. And on earth, who was the first one to be jealous? The son of Adam, Qabil. Which led to qatl, which led to killing. This is how severe, how dangerous jealousy is. That's why if you're jealous, fix your heart from jealousy. You need spiritual fixing. You have to go to a sheikh, go to the imam. Tell them that I'm jealous of this and this. How should I fix my jealousy? That's a whole different topic. Spiritual remedy. That's a whole different topic. So the final ayat, min sharri hasid. Hasid means a jealous person. Idha hasad, when he is jealous. In the next surah, since it's connected quickly, Allah is teaching us, قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ. Now, that is in this dunya. Seek protection from sihr, evil. Now, there's a bigger enemy. That is shaitan. And in this next surah, we're seeking protection in Allah from the shaitan, from the real devil, from all the shayateen. The first surah is protecting us in the dunya, and the second surah is protecting us in the hereafter, by protecting us from shayateen and the evil of shaitan. A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. I seek Allah's protection with bi Rabbin Nas. I seek protection with the Lord of the people, An-Naas. An-Naas means people, Rabb means Allah. Malik An-Naas, another quality of Allah, who is the king of the people. Malik means king, An-Naas means people. Ilahin Nas, who is the one worthy of worship, Al-Ma'bud, the one who you can say in English, the God of the people, the deity of the people, that is Allah. Why did Allah mention so many sifat? Surah Falaq, he mentioned Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq only. He goes directly into the evil that you were seeking protection from. Over here, Allah goes into Rabbin Nas, Malikin Nas, Ilahin Nas. It is to create this confidence in you that you have the divine protection of Allah. When you have Allah on your side, no shaitan can harm you. No man can harm you. No military can harm you. No jinnat can harm you even if they gather together. This is to create this confidence in your heart. Min sharril, now what did we seek protection from in the second surah? Min sharril waswasil khannas. From the evil, al-waswas means the one who whispers. Whispers. It can be without sounds, it can be with sounds. It is referring to shaitan. It's referring to shaitan. From the evil of the shaitan, al-khannas. Khannas means who withdraws. And he's very stealthy. He's there, and then the next moment he's not there. He's there, the next moment he's not there. That's the meaning of khannas. Somewhat like an enemy that is there, watching you, but then he's not there. You look around, he's not there. Then again, he's there, he's not there. What does this mean? This means shaitan is there, instigating, whispering, telling us to do evil. But when we remember Allah Azza wa Jal, we recite Surah Falaq, Surah Nas, we say Allah, Allah, we pray Salat, we read the Quran, shaitan withdraws and he runs away. Shaitan withdraws and he runs away. So we're seeking protection from the whisperer who withdraws. When does he withdraw? When the name of Allah is mentioned. That's not mentioned in the surah, but that's the explanation of it. When the name of Allah is mentioned, shaitan runs away, withdraws. What is the quality of the shaitan? الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ. Alladhi means the one. Yuwaswisu. Waswasa, yuwaswisu means to do waswasa, to whisper. Fi means in. Sudurin nas means in the hearts of the people. He whispers in the hearts of the people. The Prophet ﷺ said that more or less to the effect of the meaning, I'm doing riwayat bil ma'na, I'm not quoting word by word, I'm just paraphrasing, that there are two homes in Ibn Adam's heart. There are two homes. One belongs to the shaitan, one belongs to the malaika, angels. Malaika are telling you to do good, shaitan is telling you to do bad. When you leave Allah, you leave salat, you leave Quran, you leave the tilawat of Quran, you leave dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shaitan dominates and shaitan starts whispering and we start being influenced, affected by shaitanic whisperings. But when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, shaitan withdraws and shaitan runs away. This is where we get this from this Quranic ayat. Min al-jinnati wan-nas, and the surah ends. The shaitans from the whisperers that Khannas withdraws. Who is this whispers? They whisper in the hearts of the people. Then Allah tells us, Min al-jinnati wan-nas. They're shaitans from the jinnah. Min means from, jinnah means jinnat. The shaitan are actually jinnat. They're the hidden creature. Jinn means a hidden creature. Shayateen are actually jinnat. But Iblis was the ra'is of the jinnat. And he's the ra'is of shaitan. He became a shaitan. It's a whole different topic. It's a whole different thing. So Allah is saying protection from the one who whispers, who withdraws. Who is it? Min al-jinnati, from the jinnat. You also have evil men, wan-nas. You have the shayateen al-ins and you have the shayateen al-jinn. You have the jinnat shayateen. The only way we can protect ourselves from them is dhikr of Allah, Quranic reading. And then you also have shayateen amongst insan. Very evil, devilish people. And when we read this surah, we also seek protection from those people. Now this is the translation of Surah Al-Falaq, Surah An-Naas, wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. There's much more tafsir of why each word is chosen. Why are these qualities of Allah chosen? Why in Surah Falaq there's protection from 3 types of evil, but in Surah An-Nas it's protection of only from shaitan. The power of shaitan is that dominant, so we have to seek more protection of shaitan. There's so much more tafsir, but we'll end off here. So long as we understand the translation, and we get the background of this surah. And finally, the summary is, in this surah, Allah is teaching the Prophet, and by extension all of us, to seek protection in Allah from all the evil that exists in the world, whether it's from the shayateen, whether it's from the insan. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to implement and read this surah daily. Inshallah. Allahumma ameen. Any questions? This will be the last of our tafseers. We might have Friday night or Thursday night new sessions of a different topic, not tafseer. We'll do tafseer in the near future, maybe some other time, inshallah. But we'll come up with a different topic, something more about beliefs.